Today we're going to be going over how to change your own oil, and this is going to be messy, so just be prepared. Try to keep your hand out of the line of fire. Now that we got the oil filter off, the first thing that you're going to need to check is if it still has this black O-ring on top. If it doesn't, it's still stuck, because lots of times what happens is that these O-rings will stay on the car and then you thread your new one on and then you have a double seal, which actually ends up creating leaks. Welcome back to another Girls Guide to Automotive episode. Today we're going to be going over how to change your own oil. So let's get into it, and we're going to start with supplies. Alright guys, these are all the tools and products that you're going to need to complete an oil change by yourself. The first is going to be an oil catch pan. They make these in a bunch of different varieties and they're like 10 to 20 bucks. If you don't have this, you could also use a bucket. You just want to make sure that whatever you're using fits under your vehicle and it's going to hold enough oil so that it's not spilling over as it's draining, because we don't want any of the oil on our floor, in our driveway, because it's hard to clean up. It'll stain your driveway and it's bad for the environment. The next thing you're probably going to want is a funnel. This isn't necessary, but it definitely makes putting the oil back into the engine easier, and you don't really want to spill and get it all over the engine, because then when you start your car up, it's going to kind of smell like burnt oil for a while it burns off the top of your engine. We'll also need a ratchet or a wrench with the right size fitting on it. This one's a 17 mil for this specific car, but each vehicle make and model is going to differ a little bit, so you're just going to have to find the right size. There's only one bolt that we're going to need to take out. Now you're also going to use or need something to put your car up in the air. On this car specifically, I just have them up on ramps, which gets the car off the ground like 6 inches, which is all you really need. Or you can use a jack and a jack stand. Now for products, we're only actually going to need 2 things. The first is going to be the right kind of oil for your vehicle, and you can find the right kind of oil by popping your hood and looking at your oil filler cap on the top of your motor. And then we'll also need a filter as well. This is also going to depend on which make model of vehicle you have, so just make sure you're getting the right one. This is a Fram brand. Now these ones are on the cheaper end. If you're driving a nicer car, you might want to splurge on a more expensive oil filter. Everything, the oil for this vehicle and the filter, only cost me $27. We'll go over a couple of the safety things before we crawl under the vehicle. Before climbing under the vehicle, we need to check that the vehicle is up in the air enough and that we're not going to tip or anything. If you're using a jack, make sure that you place a jack stand so that if anything does fail, you won't get crushed. The next most important thing when you have your car up in the air like this is that your e-brake is on. If your e-brake is not on, the car could roll back off of your blocks, off of your jack stand, whatever you're using. Next, we're gonna have to pop the hood there. Okay, our initial hood latch is popped, and so now we just have to pull the hood up a little bit. Now we're gonna look for the secondary latch lever, which is generally somewhere in the middle. We are going to check the top of the oil cap. I'm just gonna pull this off just so you guys can see what I'm talking about when I say that it'll stay right on top of the oil. Right here, it says SAE 5W20. So that's what we're running in this. All right, so next we're gonna have to crawl under the vehicle now that we've checked that everything is moved away and safe. All right guys, so now that we're under the vehicle, we have to look for, it'll kind of be somewhere in the middle of the engine bay, but we'll have to look for one bolt and the oil filter. So this is your oil filter, it just threads on there by hand, and then this is your draining bolt. We want to make sure that we don't strip this or put it back in too tight. But now that we got this located, we know where to put our pan, and we're gonna start breaking this one loose first and catch all the oil in the oil pan. And then after it kind of stops draining, we're gonna move our oil pan over and we're gonna take this filter off last. Now I've got my oil drain pan right under where my bolt is. Now we're gonna crack this first. Of course, it's gonna be a tough one to crack. They're also not supposed to be this tight. They're actually supposed to be just snug. Oh, there we go. We got it. So now that I've got this cracked, you can see it's not leaking yet, but as I pull this out, it will. And this is going to be messy, so just be prepared. Try to keep your hand out of the line of fire. If you put pressure inwards on this bolt as you spin it out, you will get less oil drippage as it comes out, and you don't want to drop this into the container. All right, the other cool thing about these bolts that you take out, they actually do have a little magnet on the end, and that magnet collects any metal shards. So I also like to give that a look and just make sure that there's no metal shavings built up in here that would indicate something wrong with the motor. This one's all clean, and you don't want to lose, they have this little plastic washer on them as well. that acts as a seal, so you don't want to lose that either. So just make sure it's all together. If your plastic washer is broken, you're going to want to get a new one because that's going to stop any oil leakage. Okay, now that we've got kind of just a trickle going, I'm actually going to be able to move my pan so it gets the oil coming out of where we just took that bolt out of. But we'll also be able to get any oil that leaks out of this filter out as well. Now we're going to have oil leaking from 2 places. Now that we got the oil filter off, the first thing that you're going to need to check is if it still has this black O-ring on top. If it doesn't, it's still stuck to where the oil filter goes, and you're gonna wanna make sure that you take that off and that you know where this seal is, because lots of times what happens is that these O-rings will stay on the car and then you thread your new one on and then you have a double seal, which actually ends up creating a leak. I'm just gonna let this kind of drip out for another couple seconds. All right, so that's probably about as much oil as we're gonna get out of it. I'm gonna thread back in this bolt. Anytime you reassemble anything, you want it, especially when it's an inner engine component, you wanna make sure that it doesn't have any dirt or anything that can get sucked up in the oil. So I'll wipe this off really well. So now we got that finger tight. We're gonna go back in with our ratchet, make sure it's going the other direction, righty-tighty, and we're just gonna give it a snug. All right, now we're back onto our oil filters. So this is our old oil filter and this is our new one. We're gonna unbox them and make sure that they're the same. I've already double checked this, so I know it is the right one. But now the next step for the oil filter is one of the most important. You're gonna dip your finger into your old oil and you're gonna run it around this black O-ring that I was talking to you guys about before, that you wanted to make sure it wasn't still stuck on the vehicle. And you wanna just get this nice and lubed up. Now we can just put this guy back up to the place it was. And we're gonna check afterwards when we start the vehicle if we have any leaks. So if you're worried that it might not be tight enough by hand, I'm gonna show you how we test it afterwards when we start up the car. All right, that should be tight enough. So now we gotta fill up the oil. Each car is gonna have a different amount that it needs. So make sure that you're checking in your user manual or online how much oil your specific car takes. Now this car calls for just under 4 liters. It's like 3.8 liters. So when I get to about 3.5 liters, I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna check my oil dipstick. Wanna make sure that the cap that you pull off looks like this. It says engine oil on it so that we know we're putting the oil in the right spot. Next up is actually putting the oil in. All we gotta do is take this cap off, rip this seal out of the way so we can get at the oil, and now we gotta pour it. Now if you don't have a funnel or you're not used to pouring out of these bottles, everybody likes to go and pour them this way, but it's actually better if you pour them this way, which sounds a little backwards, but then they don't glug. So again, I'm gonna do almost all of this except for the bottom quarter. I'm not gonna need this whole thing, so I'm gonna stop about there. So again, just like anytime you check our fluids, when you pull the dipstick out, you wipe it off completely, then you stick it back in and pull it out, and that'll give us our reading. And then pull it out. And so we're just hitting the dipstick, so I know we need about 1 liter more. We're just gonna keep pouring and checking till we got enough. There's just a little bit left in there, so we should basically be good now. All right, so when you're checking this, you wanna be kinda at this top dot. Each dipstick is gonna differ on how it reads. Some will have a little L for a low mark and an F for a high mark. Some will just be a little crosshatch design. This one has 2 little holes. We wanna be at the top hole, and you don't wanna be over it either, because putting too much oil in your engine can actually cause complications. So we wanna be just below this last marking, and we're basically there. It needs maybe just one more splash, and then we are going to start the car and let it run for about 30 seconds, and then I'm gonna shut it off. Before you start your car, you also wanna put this cap back on. I'm just gonna take a quick look underneath, make sure I don't see any drips. And I think we're good. So let's start the car quickly. Turn it on for about 30 seconds, and then shut it off. Okay, so now that I've cycled the car a couple times, I'm gonna check underneath again, and then we're gonna check our dipstick. All right, we are leak-free underneath, so now we're just gonna check our dipstick again. Because it's pressurized, the oil is gonna get pushed up this dipstick, so it won't give you an accurate reading at first, so you gotta wipe it off, put it back down, and then pull it all the way out, and that'll give us our reading. So now that I've cycled this a couple of times, that filter has actually filled up, so now our oil level is lower. And so I know that generally if it's between these two marks, or if it's down, it's about 1 liter. So I think I still need about half a liter. So let's put the rest of that jug in, and that should give us a full oil system. I'm actually gonna throw the rest of this in there. It called for just under 4 liters. I always like to get a little bit extra oil just in case. A lot of times that oil reading doesn't include how much the filter uses. Another little splash. All right, so now we're getting a good oil reading. That oil is right up to that dot. It's exactly how you want it. We're talking about this. Okay, now that the oil change is done on the car, we have to dispose of our used oil. So I'm just gonna get set up and I'll show you how to do that as well. Now we have this empty jug of oil that we just put all that new oil into the car. All of this used oil should theoretically fit back into this container, and we're gonna drain everything back into this and put the cap on so we don't have a random bucket of old oil laying around. So you just dump it into there, and then we're going to put the cap back on, and we'll bring this to a place that actually can take used oil. Sometimes part stores can. Lots of times landfills will have a specific spot for oil, or the local bottle depot. So just make sure that you know where your oil dumping stations are in your local area, because you guys should have a couple, and dispose of your oil properly. If you just bring this to the landfill, it'll get crushed along with the rest of the garbage, and it actually does a lot of harm to our environment. So you want to make sure that you're bringing anything that's like a used motor oil to a proper disposal facility. All right, now that all of that's done, I'm probably gonna wipe out all of my buckets and tools with some spray degreaser and put them away, and that is it. You guys have just done an oil change. If there's any questions that I didn't go over, make sure you drop them down in the comments below. And if there's anything that you guys would like me to teach you, drop it down in the comments below as well. Thank you again for watching my video, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.